Welcome to what I did this week. It's been a really good week. I actually got to start a new piece. I used some gold pan pastel, put it on the bottom. It's a thin piece, and you'll get to see it here a little later. It's like 8 inches by 24, really a cool size. I'm excited about that. Um, Heading out for a little motorcycle trip with my wife for her birthday. So that's the other thing I kind of want to cover in these videos is how do you recharge yourself, or how do I personally recharge myself to keep the creativity flowing. Since I design during the day and I paint during the evenings, it's important to stay recharged. When I get back, I am putting myself on a little bit of a schedule for my big piece that I'm working on over here, in that at least a half an hour every single day, at least 5 days a week, maybe not Saturday and Sunday, but 5 days a week, at least a half an hour every day I spend and do some work on that. And that half an hour, I'm sure, will turn into an hour, 2 hours, but a minimum of a half an hour a day so I can get that done and I can start working on my larger piece, not larger piece, but another large piece. It's a commission for a LexCon as well. That it's not for a LexCon, but they'll pick it up at a LexCon. And that's going to be a 4 foot by 2 foot piece. So I need to get this large one done so I can make the space to create the other one. So it's been a good week. Stick around. I'm almost done with a piece that you've seen before. If you watch my other ones, if you haven't, go back and watch them. And thanks for watching. And stick around. As always, this is gonna be fun. Welcome back to what I worked on this week. This one I'm sure you've seen. This is the third time that you've seen it. And it's super close to done. I reworked this whole arm, pushed and pulled some of the cloth out and a little farther down, looked more like it's wrapping around the arm. Worked more on a shadow across here, and then even pushed this whole section back more. As you can see, there's kind of this horse shadow here. It's pushing back. Give a little bit more highlights to him, but I'm going to leave him pretty loose. More shadow here of him, just to push him back a little bit, even though he's kind of coming forward. Did a lot more work on him, a lot more work on the leaves back here, and even subtly here. Her finished her hand, did some fun. Love that little extra. It just creates an interesting shape for the background to her. Kind of deal. Some magic around her hand a little bit. His arm back here. This subtle right through here as far as the more leaves go, So, I mean, he is more work on the hair. He is so close. I think, as a matter of fact, I don't know if I'm going to show him again. The next time I'll put a signature on it and we're going to call it good. And maybe that's what I'll do the next video is have it to the point where I'll actually sign it on the video and we're done on that one. So he's really close. I'm really happy with the way he's turning out. Lots of work on this hand as well. The other thing that I did is now at the end of this video, I think I'm going to do it at the end, is a time lapse of an abstract, a brand new abstract I did. And I used gold, and what I did for the gold is it's a pan pastel gold, and that's how I created this bottom section. And you'll see it because, like I said, I did a full video of creating the abstract, and this is what is showing up already. And I kind of saw him beforehand, and the face is very different than what I saw beforehand, but I saw the figure. I saw the way the body was facing this way, and the head was facing more this way, and I was just really liking it. So, also in the right after this video, you'll see a video where his face, where I just had to erase the whole thing and rework it. And even from that, where I was going to keep this nose, I ended up going back to my larger nose. I had a real thin one, And I just like the larger noses. It feels a little bit more fawn-like, if you will. And then, just following suit is how I work. I originally saw these two arms, but as I'm working, all of a sudden this arm appears, and then there's another arm back here. So he's going to end up being, a 2-3 armed, on each side kind of guy, a 6-armed guy probably. So, and I don't know where he's going to go from here. And that's kind of the magic of this particular process, is to just never really know what's going to happen. But I haven't done anatomy. I love anatomy, and so I haven't done a really good one with anatomy, like full on, in a little while. So just having a good time. And it's thin. I mean, he's got to be 8 inches by 18. So it's going to be a super fun one to frame up and get done. But I'm curious to see where he goes. So anyhow, remember, in the midst of everything, the only thing we can really do is just draw. Just draw. I'm going to go on a quick little rant. I was looking at somebody's artwork that's just somebody's artwork online, and they did this dragon, and the dragon's anatomy is all just jacked up. It's the shoulder's not where the shoulder is. On the other side, there's no shoulder. It's not correct. Like, the anatomy just doesn't fit together in the way. And you can play with anatomy a lot, but it needs to fit. And this is kind of where, on some of these pieces, I'll run it by artists and friends of mine that I appreciate. And if they see something, my wife or something sees something that I go, that's not right. Or I sit and I look at it. I don't rush the process. I'll sit on something before I move forward. I recommend everybody doing that. Don't just rush into it. Take some time, think about it. If you have any doubts, or even if you don't have doubts, just show your friends. And if it doesn't feel right, there's something wrong. Go back and fix it, right? And if you don't know what it is, ask somebody that you trust what it is. And it doesn't have to be another artist. A lot of times, people who aren't artists can pick up on stuff like that. So anyhow, like I said, just draw, because drawing will help eliminate those problems. The more you draw, the more you sketch, the more you study, the less likely that you're going to make a big mistake, right? And I rework things, I still make mistakes, but I'll take the time to, at least the best I can. You know what I mean? On the last piece, I can't count how many times I rework that arm, the shoulder, how the bones go through it, and even I'm still on this neck part, and I've had to go back and reference, and it's right, but yet something didn't feel right, so I had to rework it. So anyhow, like, share, all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching and joining me. You guys take care. Bye. All right. This is a great example of, you saw this, and I started working on the piece. It's upside down. I work upside down a lot. But I was working on the face, and it just wasn't coming out. So I am pretty much, I left kind of the nose and the mouth because I did like that part. I left the ear, but I am going in and changing things. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but I think it's going to have some horns or something. It's going to have something. I don't know. But this is how I go back in, is just start all over. Covering the nose and the face a little bit.